Washington defeats the Giants 21-18. Jaden Daniels gets his first win, but game ball goes to Austin Seibert, who kicked a franchise record 7 field goals in his first game after replacing Cade York, who missed 2 field goals last week against the Bucks. Saints destroy the Cowboys 44-19, and no surprise here, Alvin Kamara gets the game ball, 20 rushes for 115 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 2 grabs for 65 yards, and another one through the air. Nolan's now 2-0, tied with the Bucks for first place in the NFC South. Packers even up their record at 1 game apiece with a 16-10 win over the Colts in Green Bay. The game ball's got to go to Malik Willis. An efficient 12 for 14, 122 yards and a touchdown. Another 41 on the ground. It's been an interesting ride for Malik Willis. Drafted out of Liberty by the Tennessee Titans. They end up picking Will Levis. So what was the future for a guy like Malik Willis? He made the most of his opportunity today, filling in for an injured Jordan Love. Speaking of Tennessee, they lose to the Jets 24-17 on a day where New York loses Jermaine Johnson to an Achilles injury. I got to show some love to Will McDonald. He stepped up in a big way with 3 sacks to help Gang Green to a victory. Do they call Hassan Reddick now? Do they mend those fences? It looks like they're going to need help on the outside. In one of the big upsets of the day, the Vikings beat San Francisco 23-17. Minnesota wins the game, but Niners' Fred Warner gets the game ball for me. Check out this stat line. 9 total tackles, a sack, an interception, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 pass breakups. Still the best linebacker in the game. Now would be a good time to tip the hat to Aiden Hutchinson. Give him a game ball. He deserves it. 4.5 sacks today against the Bucks. Well done, young man. Seattle goes up to New England, beats the Patriots 23-20. Game ball goes to head coach Mike Macdonald. Seahawks are one of those kind of forgotten teams in the NFC. Kind of reminds me of like the Saints. He's got them playing hard, and now they're 2-0 as well. Chargers also 2-0 after a 26-3 throttling of the Panthers in Carolina. J.K. Dobbins again, 17 carries, 131 yards, and a touchdown. And how about that somersault into the end zone? That warrants a game ball. Browns win an ugly one, 18-13 over the Jags in Jacksonville. Let's go kicker again. Dustin Hopkins made his point after, and 3 field goals, including a 53-yarder for Cleveland. So many 50-yard field goals already this year. You got to give credit to the field goal kickers. They are doing their thing. All right, next up, Ravens fall to 0-2 after losing 26-23 at home to the Raiders. They were winning the majority of this game. I could go in a couple of different ways, but I want to show some love to Brock Bowers, who caught all 9 of his targets for 98 yards as Las Vegas gets in the win column for the first time this year. The biggest ass kicking today came in Arizona as the Cardinals smacked the Rams 41-10. Kyler Murray, 17 for 21 for 266 yards and 3 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating of 158.3. That relationship with Marvin Harrison Jr., who caught 2 of those touchdowns, looks pretty good now, huh? Steelers 13, Broncos 6. Justin Fields now 2-0 as the starter. My game ball goes to Pittsburgh punter Corliss Waitman. 8 punts for over 420 yards, an average of 53 yards, and a long of 58. Pat McAfee would be proud. Chiefs get a late PI call and an even later field goal from Harrison Butker for the win to beat the Bengals 26-25 in a game where I thought Cincinnati was the better team for the majority of that contest. And for that, I'm going to give the game ball to linebacker Jermaine Pratt, one of the most underrated players in the National Football League. 16 tackles on the day. And then finally, the Sunday night game. I know it wasn't the prettiest contest. The Houston Texans moved to 2-0 with a 19-13 win over the Chicago Bears, but really cool to see 2 young quarterbacks ply their trade there in Houston. My game ball goes to another guy that doesn't get nearly enough credit when you talk about one of the best pass rushers, one of the best defensive players in the game, and that's Danielle Hunter. 5 tackles, a sack and a half, 2 tackle for losses, 2 QB hits. Danielle Hunter on one side, Will Anderson Jr. on the other side. There are a lot of playmakers on this Houston team.